uh Malevolent?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait. Yes. I think so. I
He
don't
fought
know
his
if I.
brother or the fake brother.
I don't know if I watched that.
Okay, you probably did.
What
It's
was the
fine.
last thing that happened? He just fought the
Last thing
brother.
that he powered up again.
Who? Hugo or Hilma?
Yeah, Hugo got a burst of energy to stand up and fight some more because everybody was like, you don't fight for your hatred of us, you or for like spirits. You fight because you made a vow to protect uh what's her name, and he was like,
Ozone.
you're right, and then he just stood up and his thing started to glow after he was getting like trashed by his brother, though, his fake brother.
Okay. No, I didn't see that. Thought I watched everything. Didn't all our regular shows come out this week? Right?
Zom, Bleach,
JJK
JJK.
and Rurouni, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, we
Yeah.
don't need to talk about
I
it.
just
Yeah.
didn't watch Malevolent. I just forgot about Malevolent, but I'll watch it. Okay, so let me see. It's episode 43, Weekend Weaves, September 18th, 2023. I'm Alonzo here with my co-host Jason, and where do you want to start?
We can do Zom since like it's fresh. Uh,
Okay.
this was a
Uh,
very straightforward episode. Nothing really happened. They got a new friend, a new character, Beatrice from Germany. Isn't she
yeah,
German?
she's German.
And they were just on the highway driving. They were just talking about stuff. He was like, I already completed what, like 16 things out of the 100. They were just joking, and then they see this truck pulled over, surrounded by zombies, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't get to use my shark suit in a long time." Hopped out in the shark suit and kind of distracted the zombies for a little bit, and then Beatrice just kicked the door out in a samurai suit and started slicing a whole bunch of zombies, and they were like, "Whoa, that's super cool." And then she took her mask off, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm traveling. I like Japan, and I got a whole bunch of fish that I'm trying to take to the sushi guy because I want to try sushi." And this was like prior to the world ending. I wanted to do this or the zombie apocalypse, and she was like, I still want to do it, so I'm gonna take this fish to him so he can cook me an all-you-can-eat buffet of sushi. And then they're like, that's kind of risky. But Akira's like, you know what? Your love for Japan, and you seem like a pretty cool person, so we'll help you. And they're just like, he just wants to eat sushi because this makes no sense. But then they all are like, all right, whatever, let's go. They go to the town. Um, they realize it's like deserted. There's just zombies everywhere, kind of like the town they just left because they left Tokyo, right? That's where they
Yeah.
were at, and so it was pretty much the same thing. And then they devised this plan to kind of like get them all like trapped in a little. Basically, what he did at the other place, trap them inside a small area and then blow them up or set them on fire. That's exactly what they were trying to do again, and it was gonna work, but then the matches didn't work, and then they were like, well, I'd rather die. Or Akira was like, I'd rather die than not be able to eat this sushi. So they're like, whatever, I'm just gonna hop down and start fighting zombies. So, which made like no sense at all. It was like thousands of zombies, and he was just like, I'm gonna solo all of them. And then Beatrice followed him down. They started fighting, and they kind of realized like, all right, we're kind of getting overwhelmed. Like they were doing a pretty good job. And then I forgot her name. She had already devised a backup plan because she was like, just in case the first plan doesn't work, and she got a drone with the little what's the name of those? A megaphone.
Walkman. The
It was a
megaphone.
Walkman, but it was attached to a megaphone that was playing music, and it lured the zombies to like this gas station, and they had like all the gas pumps just putting oil and gas all on the floor, and then they were on top of the building and threw a Molotov down and blew them all up, and then they finally were able to make it to the it was actually a lot that happened this episode. I'm not gonna lie, because it was like two things. But they made it to the sushi place, and the guy was still there, and he was like, "Oh, I'm glad to serve you guys." And they were crying. She was crying. She was like, "Oh, it's so good." And then he was like, "I'm crying because you're probably my last, like my last customers, and I spent so much time." Like he was like, "I missed my wedding or something like that."
He missed his
His daughter's
daughter's
wedding,
wedding,
yeah, to learn how to cook
and
sushi.
when his wife passed.
Yeah, so he was like, "I'm glad you guys enjoy it so much," and It was like you guys can eat your fill and let them drink all the sake and everything. And then they ended up leaving, and they were like, you know what, we haven't bathed in a long time. And they were like, yeah, we've been bathing in like spring water and stuff, but it makes you smell all swampy. So they're like, all right, let's go to a hot spring, to relax and clean, clean ourselves. So they go to the hot spring, and it seems pretty chill. Like nobody's there, even though like the blood is all over the place, the rainbow blood that shows zombies are around, but it was like no zombies at all. And then they get dressed up into like their robes and stuff, and they're gonna split. Like one's gonna go one group, Akira and Kensho are gonna go to the men's section, and then they were gonna go to the women's section, but then they realized the hot water doesn't work in the women's section, so they came to their section, and they were like, oh, they were like being all like not serious at all, like playful, and then they were like, yeah, the water doesn't work, the hot water doesn't work, and they were like, oh, it's fine, we'll be cool, just bathe with us basically. And then she was like, nah, yeah, we're not doing that. But the other Beatrice was like, in the past, because she knows so much about Japan or whatever, and they were like, more than someone who's from Japan. Like, what the heck? And she was like, in the past, I used to have basically joint bathrooms or joint springs. Like, it didn't matter if you were a woman or a man. They just, were in the hot springs together. And then she was like, nah, I don't want to do that. And then the zombies popped up out the ground, or she was like about to hop in, but then zombies just started rising up out the water. And I'm like, how are they? They've been swimming and just,
Yeah, they were
in
swimming
here for nothing.
around. I don't know.
Yeah, how the zombies are just chilling and they all pop up, and then it's just like thousands of zombies following them. They climb up this cliff, and they're like, well, there's no way to get down. And they were all pretty sad because they were like, we just wanted to chill in a hot spring, take a bath, clean. And it looks like we can't, and we got to kind of just wait until these zombies leave. But so they were all like crying and whining, and then they all just end up asleep. But what's her name wanders off and finds a hot spring, a natural hot spring. Well, that one's natural, but it was like man-made, like they built around it. But she found a natural hot spring, and then she was just in there. And then Akira woke up, and he went too, and he didn't know she was there, and he was just chilling, and he bumped into her, and she was like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" He was like, "What? I just wanted." He was like, "That's no." She wanted him to leave. He was like, "What? I wanted to be in a hot spring. That's all I wanted to do." She was like, "Yeah, wow, that's really all he wanted to do. He doesn't really, care about me being here." And then they have like a heart to heart, and yeah, pretty much what we kind of already assumed. Like they like each other. That's his, the girl of his dreams is going to be her. And then they have like, a good heart to heart, talk about their feelings. And then she's like, he was like, you're being really open right now. And she was like, yeah, I hope that I can find someone I can love who I can be open with like this. And then she was like, actually, I didn't mean that, not like that. And then he was kind of just like, I'm so in there. and, and then they show up and they're like, what? There's a hot spring here, and then Kensho was like, when did you guys start hooking up? When did this happen? And they were like, no, 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 that's not what that is. And then he was like, anyway, it doesn't matter. I wanted to be in a hot spring too, and then they both just hop in, and then the episode just ends.
Do you like Beatrice?
Yeah, she's pretty cool. Um, I mean, you know how I feel about fan service characters though in general. Um,
I was thinking the same thing, that there was a lot of fan service, but then I also got to be fair that I don't know. I feel like it wasn't in really like bad taste.
it wasn't bad taste,
It's
yeah,
not hitting
but her
like
character
Bleach
is fan
levels.
service though, yeah. But her like aside from her looks and stuff, she seems like a cool character. Like she's just a super she's like a weeb basically, but not with anime, just with Japanese culture in general. Um, which there's a lot of people like that, who like other cultures and they go visit and travel to experience it and
Yeah.
they know a lot about it. So her
And
character's
that's
okay. Her
as soon
character's
as she
cool.
got there, she worked and saved to get there, and then the day she got there, the zombie epidemic started.
Yeah, epidemic started. Yeah,
Do you think that that they're actually gonna fall in love?
probably yeah. By the end of the show, I mean they're kind of already there. It's like
Are they? I
they're
don't know.
not in love, but it's like you can tell it's
I think she's
something
opening
is
up to it.
brewing. Yeah, yeah. Cause she shot him down like straight away. But she was like, that was my past. Cause my dad used to make me not, be able to live the life I wanted to live. So whenever somebody has an opinion, I just shoot them down to justify my opinions. But that's not right.
It's like, what? There's no point in love. You should work all your 20s,
Yeah,
spend it
work to
building
get
knowledge.
promotions and then get money, and then which is also not a bad like thing to do. You know, like in your 20s, you can work, get promotions, get money, and then in your 30s, when you feel like you're financially stable and available, to do stuff. That's also not a bad thing. It wasn't like she was just saying like love. Well, she did say love was pointless, but she was also kind of saying that like in your 20s you can focus on your career, and then once you feel it like you're established and stable, then you can look for someone to you know join you in life. Which I mean, both ways could be. It
Yeah.
depends
I
on
feel
what
like
you want to
she,
do.
there's nothing wrong with that in, like, what's the word? In moderation.
Yeah,
Like, I think it's a little extreme to be like, I won't even try to, like, meet
yeah,
anyone at all for my entire 20s.
yeah, yeah,
Or just, like, turn anyone down even if there's, like, an opportunity or someone that you do like. Just be like, nope, I'm in my 20s. Like, that's kind of
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
But in Akira, I don't know if, like, I know it's on his list to find, like, his dream girl. But, like, I don't
He's
know
only
if
met one girl.
she's necessarily special because he's liked
He's
other
only he's it's the
girls.
only girl he's met. Yeah, really. He
Well,
liked
he
the
liked
what's
the
her
flight
name, the
attendant.
flight attendant. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm saying like she's the only girl he's met since the apocalypse for real, like and talked to, aside
Yeah,
from the flight attendant.
that's true. And then there's Beatrice.
You know what they say, man? Opposites attract.
I mean, she's kind of not becoming herself already. She was very
Yeah,
lax this episode.
and she was like completely open to going to the sushi place. She wasn't like this is. She mentioned something about it not being a good idea, but she wasn't like, yeah, we shouldn't do this like at all.
Yeah, I feel like her character has already changed. But I don't know if it was like I remember at the beginning we were saying like they would kind of affect each other, but I think it's more just she's
The
changed
other
and he
way.
hasn't really
Yeah.
changed at all. He's kind of the same. Like I don't think he's really taking it any more serious, but she's taking it a lot less serious.
Yeah, because he just hopped out and was like, I'm gonna try to stop these zombies with no plan.
And then one more thing about this, and we can move on because there wasn't really much here. Um, but the symbol monkeys reminded me of Call of Duty zombies, like the monkey
Oh,
bombs.
when did the symbol monkeys pop up?
They were when they were using the drone and attract them to the gas station. There's like a symbol monkey playing. I don't know if it's in
Oh,
the manga though, but it reminded me of Call of Duty. It's probably not even in this chapter. I was like, is that a Call of Duty reference?
this is a good segue into Bleach though. Zombies.
True, true. Already, I know
Yeah,
that.
bruh. How do you feel about Bleach?
I think it's kind of laggy part right now.
I
It's
just feel
kind
like
of.
I don't know, man.
I think
I feel like part one was so much more. I don't know, serious. I don't want to say serious, but it was less comic, like comedy, and
part one was definitely more serious. It's an anime only thing, but it was in there. Bleach is like Core 2 has been more comedy than Core 1,
yeah,
for sure. Like there was no comedy when the Quincy's were attacking the first time.
yeah. It was just straight death and destruction, and
Yeah.
yeah. Now it's like jokey, jokey.
Where's my
I
shot
don't
of the
know, man.
zombies?
It's I don't know, man. I'm not. It's like every episode is just making me less interested. Like every episode.
So how did you feel um about Toshio?
Kazugaya.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, we got an explanation on how he got turned into a zombie. It was like right before he died. She was able to put blood on him to maintain his like flesh, and she was saying like all the flesh and stuff didn't decay because he just died. Like he was at literally at at the point of death. So his body didn't decompose or whatever, become fully dead yet, but his mind was already gone. So he's like completely mindless. Um, which I mean makes sense because we kind of talked about that. Remember, I was like, he was knocked out. Like after that fight, he was just laid out on the ground. So anybody, or my prediction was like, she probably just walked over and was like, oh, this dude is decapacitated, and threw blood on him. Turned him into a zombie, which is what she said. That's what happened. So I mean, that's cool. He showed up. He clapped those two fairly quickly.
I was gonna
Uh,
say this Toshiro fights way better than regular Toshiro.
you think so? But those dudes
I
aren't that
think so.
strong, right?
No, they're strong. I mean, they're beat up, but like this
Yeah, but they're
Toshiro is
not
like
like
way more
captain
savage
level.
than the regular Toshiro.
Yeah, but they're not captain level, right? Those two.
No, they're not captain. I mean, he's. I'm pretty sure Kaku is assistant captain of Squad 11. I'm pretty sure he's captain. Kaku's captain level, I would say.
Okay. I mean, I just assumed they were just not trash, but like they were strong enough to fight some people, but they weren't going to go toe to toe with a captain.
Nah,
Like if captain was going all out, they would just lose. Like no difficulty.
I wouldn't say no difficulty for a Kaku. I'd say mid difficulty.
Okay, that's fair. They were pretty banged up already, so that could
Yeah.
assist to why they just got trashed super quickly. He basically killed both of them. Like he slashed through, bro. I thought the ball dude was dead, but no, he like
Nah.
stabbed him, messed his leg up. He lost his leg, stabbed him through his like chest, and then cut his back, and then
That's what I'm
the
saying. He was
guy.
a savage, bro. He pulled out the
Yeah, I
glacier.
mean he's not him though. He's literally a mindless zombie
He
that's being
stabbed him
controlled.
on
Like
the ground.
he has no control over his thoughts or anything. Like she has what's her name? Gigi. She
Giselle.
has like full control. Yeah, they were saying Gigi for short in the anime. Like she has
Oh.
full control over him, and she explained that to Yoshimitsu. Like he has no mental capacity whatsoever. He's completely mindless. And he was like, "How do you find any fun in that?" And she was like, "I'm a sadist, like a sadist or a sadist,
She said he's not a
sadist."
sadist. She's
And
not a
then he was,
sadist like he is.
oh yeah, and he was like, "Yeah, I find no enjoyment from that. I like my zombies to be able to have the ability to think." Um, and so the dude shows back up, the zesty guy, the zesty Iran car, and he's like, "All right, I got rid of the zombie girl. Now I'm gonna get this dude." And he was like, "Stop, dude! Like, what are you doing?" And he just got clapped instantly. Like, no chance. That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure he could have got those other two up out of there because they were struggling with the zombie girl. He got the zombie girl like done instantly by himself.
Wait, who are you saying they could have got out of there?
The zombie dude or the Iran car, the zesty Iran car, killed the zombie version of the Quincy girl
Right.
instantly, and the two of them, the bald guy and the other dude, were struggling to fight the zombie girl alone. Like it was just her versus them two, and they couldn't do anything with her. But the zesty dude destroyed her instantly, and then Hitsugaya finished him instantly, no difficulty, like one shot. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think they were gonna stand a chance, regardless of if they were hurt or not.
I'll shoot. I'll shoot them some bail because Zesty dude just pulled up on hits a guy like he was just gonna destroy him like he did Bambi, and then he just underestimated him.
So you think it's just the pure underestimation that caused him to die like
Yeah,
that?
because he just pulled up. He's just like he was just gonna hit him regularly, and he just sliced him. And then he was like, couldn't you tell he's beyond your capabilities?" Like, yeah, he's
Yeah,
pulled up
but
on.
see, but he's saying like beyond his. So even if he was trying, I feel like beyond your capabilities means like even if you were like this is not a fight you want to pick, even if you were prepared.
Right. And also, I feel like Bambi, the zombie Bambi, is a bad marking for power because like the dog dude had to sacrifice his life to beat her, and like and he was a captain, and
Yeah,
what else happened? Shinji was a captain, he couldn't beat her. Um, who else kind of struggled with her? I don't know who she beat in the first core, if they even showed her fighting, but like she was a really strong opponent. I don't feel like Zombie Bambi was the strongest alive Bambi.
So you think it's a weak, like they lose power when they become zombies?
I don't know.
I feel like they're the same strength level, like the same power.
I feel like they are too, but maybe because she's controlling them, it's a little different.
Okay.
I don't know. Like she's a Stern Ritter, and like she beat two Cap. Well, she didn't beat the dog dude, but she
Yeah,
didn't
she just took
die.
his
Excuse me.
Bankai, right?
Yeah, she took his Bankai the first time. That's true.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's kind of weird the power scale though. Like these guys got beat by
The
Akaku
people that
and
we're talking about, yeah. But
yeah.
remember, but he made them stronger. He got them as like transformed them into zombies, and I'm pretty sure he made them stronger. Because like, why else would he bring them out to fight if they can't? If they weren't on the like in the past, if they lost to the two dudes, right? Why would I bring them to this battle if the two dudes are losing to someone else? You know what I'm saying? Like they would be weaker. So I'm assuming he made them stronger or did something to increase their power.
Possibly, yeah. I don't know, man.
And then we
I
don't
don't know
even
how
see
to
the other
scale them.
two anymore.
Yeah, I don't know where they're at either.
But then he's like, all right, well, I'll handle this. And then he's like, blocking all his attacks. He's like, you're probably wondering how I'm blocking all your attacks, and I just sit in the lab all day. It's because I put this sensor on my sword that allows me to detect any move and block it and make contact with the sword, so I never get hit, which is pretty sweet. It's like an auto parry, um, no matter what. And then he was like, based on that information, you're probably going to try to strike me. And then he tried to hit him with like his knee, and then he put like a sticker on him. And then he was like, all right, well, I tricked you basically, and now you're in contact with this sticker thing, and I'm gonna give you these drugs, and these drugs are gonna make you.
Well, at first
He
he
didn't
slices
explain
and
what they were gonna
kills
do.
them.
Yeah, yeah, but that was a trick. That wasn't, or he actually did kill him. He actually did kill him. That's a part of the drug, which is like kind of crazy when you think about it. That he was able to develop a drug that can allow himself to die, but it'll take him back in time.
I thought it was an illusion.
That's what I was thinking too, but he was making it seem like it's not an illusion. He was like, "This is like I'm testing this, and it'll put you back in the past because that can bring like a whole bunch of loopholes to the story and like create timelines and other stuff." Which I'm glad the creator didn't go in depth with that because that could mean a whole set of other things, which nobody has time for. Because theoretically, if he's going back in the past, does that mean everybody who's existing in that current timeline is also going back in the past, or is he just going back in the past? And you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
is
think he went back in the past.
you think it's just all an illusion? That's what I was thinking
Yeah,
too. But
I
he didn't
think
say that. He didn't say
like
it's an illusion. He
let me
was like,
see.
whenever you kill me, you'll go back into the past. But the problem with this is that it only allows short-term memory, so you can't remember how many times you've died or killed me and went back in the past. But once you reach 10, like 10 times, then your body will completely become paralyzed and you won't be able to move, but you can talk. And then that's when he administers the second drug, which is like a fusion of their blood, their original blood, and it transforms the blood that Bambi, or not Bambi, Gigi has put into them to control them, and basically negates her blood and puts their original blood back, like back into it, and clears her like zombie thing. And now he can control them because like it's their OG blood, and then something else he put in there, and now he has full control over their bodies. Um, but they are fully dead though. He did mention they're fully dead. He also like kind of allowed them to like get their memory back in a sense because he was like, now you're, because every time he kept killing them, he was starting to like conversate back with them like he had a personality, like he wasn't, a zombie anymore. And then the other three captains who got killed, who was the one? Remember, we were like, who was the one that was with them? And we were like, oh, it was the girl. She got
Yeah,
clapped. We were
that's
like, they
his
both got clapped.
assistant cap.
Yeah, so she died as well, and he turned them into a zombie. And so yeah, it was I don't know, it was okay. It was pretty cool. I also feel like this fight was kind of, all these fights have been very lackluster in terms of animation and like what happens. You know what I mean? Like it hasn't really been a whole lot of back and forth. It's been like attack, attack, and then oh my trump card, and then the fight's over. You know what I mean? It's not really a whole lot of combat. Um, it was pretty cool when Rukia's brother showed up though. He actually had some decent combat. He used his Bankai too.
That was
Um,
also an anime only scene.
Oh, really? He
when
didn't
he
use his
fought all
Bankai?
three.
Yeah.
Like when they didn't show him fighting all three in the manga, just so they did that all off the dome.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. He fought he made like quick work of them like instantly. And then the gun dude, the old man with the gun, he used his Bankai on him and just clapped him. And then that's when Pepe or his lieutenant shows up and he's like, "Hey, I took out one." And then he kept trying to hit him. He was like, "Why are you trying to hit me?" He was like, "What? I'm not trying to hit you." He was like, "Yes, you are. Like you're attacking me." He was like, "Are you really like are you our enemy in disguise or are you being controlled?" He was like, "What are you talking about? I'm not swinging my sword." And he just kept trying to hit him. And then they were fighting each other for a little bit. And then Pepe shows up. I don't know. These characters is just like getting weirder and weirder. I'm not gonna lie. It's just like what is going on. I think that's why I'm kind of like whatever. You know what I mean? Like these characters for me are just like what the heck. And then he can basically turn you into a zombie as well. Not really a zombie because you're still alive, but he can take
It's
control of
just
you and make him
control
fight
you.
for his love or something. And then and it works on anything with the soul. So he deflected it with his Zanpakuto. This was pretty cool though, because now his Zanpakuto is under his spell and he wants to fight for him. So that was a cool twist. It's just that his character Pepe is just like extremely lame, so it didn't make it as cool. But that idea of being able to possess or control anything with the soul, and then him trying to deflect the attack with his Zanpakuto, and him knowing that his Zanpakuto has a soul, is like that was a good twist and plot point or whatever. But it was kind of wasted because he ended up winning anyway, fairly easily. I forgot exactly how he won. I think he just what did he do? He just won. I just remember him winning. He got shot with a blast. It didn't affect him at all. He just like whatever. And then he like stabbed. He's put like hearts through him, and then I don't know. I don't remember. I kind of was
Oh,
just like,
these guys pop up. The
yeah, they
zombies
show up.
that Mayuri
Yeah,
made.
and saved him, and that's what happened. He got saved like at the end,
Yeah.
and then he was like, that's when Rukia's brother was talking to Yoshimitsu like, why didn't you just let them die? He was like, because when you serve the Serite or when you serve the Soul Society, even in death, you should protect the Serite or whatever. He was like, that's just your way of basically making this
Rationalizing
okay.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rationalizing this. And he was like, well, I mean, you can see it that way, but it's whatever. And so that's pretty much that. And then Pepe was about to get away, but what's her name showed back up and finished him off. And then we also see her. She died technically off screen. It wasn't off screen, but it was off screen. Like it was off screen, and then they showed us what happened. He explained to her like, "Yeah, your zombies are no longer your zombies. I have complete control of them." And she was like, "What?" And then she just got stabbed and died. And I was like, "Okay, well, that was very anticlimactic." Um, and so yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. It's kind of like I'm ready to just get back. I'm just ready to get back to Ichigo and you know
Yeah, that's what I really
seeing
want.
him.
I'm kind of done with the Stern Raiders because
Yeah, they don't even
Yowich
seem that
already
strong.
left.
Yeah, he left, and now they don't even seem that big of a threat. Like they're just losing left and right. Like literally, all of them are just dying.
Yeah, even though all the captains are still underpowered compared to a lot of them, they
Yeah, but
still
you
are
got
losing.
Rukia's brother who just took out three of them easily, light work, and then a lieutenant
Yeah.
that took out one. You know what I mean? Like they got that power up, and it was like, okay, now it's serious. But the power up is still there, I guess, but it doesn't matter. It's not really doing anything.
Like
Um,
ever since they came down, they've been beating
yeah,
them.
it's just been yeah.
And it's kind of like Yowich is gone, so all these fights don't really matter that much.
Yeah.
And she just like eats Pepe, and that's it. Yeah, it was alright. I'm not like mad at it per se. I'm just waiting for
Yeah, I'm not mad at
more
it either. It's
interesting
just like
things.
I don't know. The past two or three episodes have been very eh, eh,
Do you have
eh.
any positives to say?
Yoshimitsu was pretty cool. I like how he tackled
Why can we keep calling him Yoshimitsu?
because what's his real name? What's his
I think
real
his
name?
name is Mayuri. I think it's Mayuri. Yeah,
Kurosuchi.
Korosuchi Mayuri.
So yeah, Kurosuchi, he's pretty cool. But I've always kind of liked his character just because like he's super smart and he creates stuff that helps the team or whatever the Soul Reapers, and it's always pretty cool. Like all his gadgets and stuff are pretty cool. So he was awesome. The way he defeated the zombies, which I kind of predict. I felt like that was going to happen. Like he was going to be able to take over, like bring them back in some sense. You know what I'm saying? Like to have them be on their side again.
Do you think they're
Uh,
just gonna die though? I can't see them killing off these characters.
I think they're dead. Like they're already dead though. Like they're dead, but they have their memories, kinda. Um,
But how did they die? Because remember,
I mean, we've
the
seen all three of them die.
no, because the Vibrator Fist and Kira, they lost to the Luchador, but then they were getting healed.
They were in the infirmary, remember?
Yeah,
And that's when Grimmy showed up,
right.
and he like destroyed the room. So I'm assuming they just stopped healing in there, and then what's her name or what's his name was like, well, this is an opportunity to do some experiments, and just because like he does stuff without question or asking. He always does stuff that is borderline. It's not even borderline. Like it's not right. He does like human experiments. Like we were
Breaks
talking
all
about. Remember I was saying he
Geneva
was breaking all the
Convention.
yeah, like all the rules. He just does whatever. So I'm pretty sure he was like, well, they're probably about to die. Like they were probably on the brink of death, and he was like, "It's no healing these dudes. Let me just turn them into zombies."
Yeah, he's like that. But
Because Ruki's brother was like, "Why didn't you could have just let them die?" He was like, "Yeah, but why would I do that? They could still serve us." So
it's weird. I like him more in this arc than I did in past arcs.
you think his reasoning is bad? I feel like
I don't think his reasoning is bad. I feel like in a war like this, everything is kind of
oh,
on
and
the table.
another thing I don't like is like the Stern Ritters fight amongst themselves all the time.
Yeah, they are fighting each other as well.
Like that is the dumbest thing to me. And they're all fighting each other because they're like, I want to get the credit for when we take over. Like if you're all dead, I can be the one that can say, yeah, I stopped all the Soul Reapers, which like makes no sense to me. But
Yeah, I don't understand fighting each other, but maybe there's something about it with Yowich and who he decides to absorb or something. I don't know. Because one dude, he was like the gun guy before he got into a fight. He was like, I want to get like the credit so I can
yeah,
stand
that's what I'm
next to
saying. He was
Yowich.
like, I'm glad that you two died or something like that, but I'm gonna get the credit. Like I don't know.
They
That's
just want their
weird to me
props. I
too.
don't know. Um, Maybe some more positives. I could say I liked Zombie Toshiro. Even though he didn't talk, I feel like that was the best fighting I've seen from him in the entire series.
Hmm.
That was cool.
The knuckle guy
Um,
was good too. They gave him a little. Because remember the first time we saw, it, he was like that was kind of, but then he
yeah.
used it on Pepe and it was like, it worked. So it made it look cool.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah,
And then my man's just gets eaten by a big mouth, and that's it. I'm trying to think of some more possible positives, but I don't know. I don't think the animation is bad. I just think maybe they're
no, it
saving their
wasn't bad.
efforts
There's
for bigger
yeah for
fights.
the big fight. Yeah, like the animation is never bad. Unlike JJK this week, that shit was terrible.
Oh, you thought the animation was bad, JJK?
That was terrible. All that damn blur, bruh. Oh my god. And we can talk about JJK too. Because
Okay.
I feel like this episode was super strung out for like the part. Because obviously we all just want to get to Gojo in the basement or in the subway fighting the
Oop.
main guys. I think this was just a moment to show that Yuji has gotten stronger in this time frame. Because he did make quick work of that like grasshopper spirit or whatever
Curse.
curse, but
Yeah.
it was just like I feel like they wasted so much time on that. And the animation didn't look good. It didn't look good at all. Like it looked terrible comparatively to like what we've seen so far.
Okay.
And I
So
also seen a
let's.
clip. It was a clip on TikTok showing like the actual animation frames before they put the blur and stuff on it. And it looked way better, but the blur made it look so bad. But they got to put blur on like shots like those because in Japan it's like illegal to show stuff like that on TV because it can cause seizures. So they have to
Okay.
blur it so that people don't get like don't have seizures or whatever. But
That
I
makes
don't know. That's what
sense.
I was seeing in the comments, and I'm not sure how truthful that is, but that's what people were saying.
I don't get how that works either.
Because you got stuff like One Piece, and I feel like you can get a seizure from One Piece more than somebody throwing punches extremely fast on screen. But I'm not a doctor, I don't know the science behind that.
I don't know how that works either. But let me see. So, what all happens this episode? Yuji, we get Yuji in the beginning with Mei Mei, and wait, let me see. With the little kid, what do you think their relationship is? Mei Mei and the kid.
I don't know. That was also weird. They're not related, but she was like, you like to have like work relations that are similar to like families, but I don't know. That whole thing. This whole starting part was just like weird. Like I don't know why they were doing this. I'm like, what is this?
I just want you to
Um.
guess.
Oh, you want me to guess? Do you know?
Yeah,
Are they like a thing or something?
just guess. I mean, I just want to
I
hear
don't.
what you
I don't
think.
know.
What
I
do you
don't know what it is.
think?
It was very weird vibes, like predatory almost. I don't know. Like a. I don't know.
It's her younger brother,
Okay.
but in the
They
anime,
talk.
it doesn't say that.
Yeah, and the way they were talking was very. I don't know. It was like. I don't know. It didn't come off as like brother and sister. Did it come off as brother and sister to you?
No, it's
Yeah,
not weird. It
it was
seemed more
probably.
like
Oh, it's what you would call it. It's a
seemed more like Twitch creator, like Twitch girl and tier
What's
3
the
sub.
name of that? It's like a thing. It's a trope. It's a trope in animes where like siblings love their siblings like to a crazy amount, kinda. It's something complex.
I don't know. Is it related to that video he sent me when he said his favorite anime was
Nah, nah,
My Sister
nah.
Can't Be This Cute? Or something?
Yeah, I don't know that. See, that's the weird. See, that's the weird side of you know. Those are the anime people I'm not associated with. When I say I like anime, I'm not one of them. You feel me? I don't know. I don't know what that is, but I think it's what's the name of it? Because
I
it
don't know
was
what
this
it's
one show
called.
I was watching, Mash Burnhead or Mashal. You know what that anime is? It's about like it's like Harry Potter basically.
The Magic and Muscles?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah. So he is a character in there. He has like the same thing. He has blue hair, and they talk about it. Lance Crown. He has a complex. He has a uh Lance Crown.
It's daddy issues, mommy
No, no. He
issues,
loved his sister dearly, but it's
sister
like
complex.
weirdly. It's called a it's a sister complex. But they have the a lolicon,
Okay.
but that's basically what it is. But like lolicon is a Japanese term derived from the title character and Vladimir blah blah. In the novel, an older man is sexually obsessed with a 12-year-old girl. From a fictional narrative comes to the phrase Lolita complex and later lolicon to describe an adult controversial fascination with underage girls. It seems like it's backwards. Like she's fascinated with her brother, or they're both fascinated with each other, and
Let's
it's very
say.
weird.
Yeah, and they didn't explain that was her younger brother. They didn't. I was looking for it because like, where is it? Yeah, like in this little part, they show this in the anime, and it just said Yu, and it didn't say anything. So I was just confused, like what he is. But it's her younger brother.
So yeah, they're talking, and then Yuji's basically like he's just in there by himself, and she was like, "Yeah, but that's why we're here. We're back up." And then they're like, "All right, we're going in." She sends her crows out to like scope the area. She figures out there's actually two veils. There's one surrounding the upper level and then the lower level, and basically we have to figure out how to destroy the upper veil. And they figure out that, or they go down, and she's like, "Hey, you can either kill a whole bunch of like low level curses, or you can fight this one big curse. What do you want to choose?"
Or it
And
was
he was like,
transfigured humans.
yeah, transfigured humans, yeah. And then he was like, I want to get the big curse. And then she was like, all right. He found a grasshopper, and then they were talking. The grasshopper was really stupid. And he was like, oh, you're smart. I'm smart. He kept saying stuff
He's like,
about
I'm so
intelligence.
clever. He's
Yeah.
like, are you clever?
And then He's like, all right, you're guarding. He explained what he was guarding, which was like so super stupid. You know what I mean? Like usually he would just be like, yeah, I'm just here to make sure none of you guys get in. But he was like, no, I'm guarding something super important. And then he realized it was a nail in the ground, and that's the same nail we saw Geto have in his hand after he killed or after they beat Mekamaru. He had that nail. He was like, I'm almost done with my thing or whatever.
You know
So
what?
they
I think that was all anime only.
with the grasshopper fight.
I think so. 'Cause I don't see it here.
See, see,
That's
see,
crazy.
see. I'm like,
It's
bro, this
crazy.
shit is trash. I'm like, what is this? I'm like,
I
what
don't
is
see
this?
it. That's
So
crazy.
that shit was filler. It was literally filler.
Dang.
Well, that explains why that shit was garbage. And I'm not holding back now. That shit was trash. Like that shit was trash. Like I was trying to give it the benefit of the doubt, but now that I know it's filler. Oh yeah, that shit was
I
garbage.
think it was anime only because the end of this, yeah, I don't see it at all. That happened before they showed the Gojo thing, so
Yeah. So yeah, that part was trash. The fight was trash. Like it literally, I don't know what it. I guess it was trying to show like how good Yuji was or whatever, but it wasn't that good. But they ended up destroying the upper veil because they broke the you know the nail or whatever, which theoretically means can't people leave now?
um, possibly. Honestly, I don't even know how all that veil stuff she was explaining even works. Like they're
Because
saying
you
people
saying
were trapped on,
the lower level, like it was a lower floor where Gojo
right?
was at that we were trapped in, and then it was another veil higher up that was like surrounding the veil that Gojo's currently in. And from what my understanding, they broke the upper veil, like the overarching one. And then this fight was pretty cool. They were like, Geto basically explained to them like, hey, you guys won't be able to beat Gojo, but there's things we can do to make it so he can't use his abilities to his full capability.
And
And which will give
they
you a
don't even
chance to
explain
win.
the veil in the manga either.
Yeah. And so they had this whole big plan to basically get all these, innocent people around so Gojo can't use his stuff because if he
That was
uses
good.
it, he'll just kill everybody because he's so strong. Like if he activates anything, everybody around him will just die,
Like this
which is
part
crazy.
specifically was really good.
Yeah.
Like he was like, he thought their plan was like, okay, if I leave, like y'all just gonna kill everyone, right? And then they opened the lashes, and then I was like, oh, what are they doing? And then they all fall out and they just start killing them. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That was crazy. And then he uses blood manipulation, which isn't that like a clan thing?
I don't
I
know.
want to know if he's part of that clan. Remember the guy from the school who kind of reminds me of like Neji. He fought with like
Neji.
Megumi in the little like
Oh
tuning
yeah, yeah, yeah,
exam
yeah,
type
yeah. He
thing.
was using blood manipulation on his arrows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder what that's about. But yeah, they were just killing people. I was like,
I
what?
really don't know what this did though. Like they were just killing people just to kill them,
I think they
right?
were trying to egg them on. But the thing about Gojo, and they were also using like domain, like simple. I don't know if they're simple domains with domain
It was
amplification.
like it was domain amplification, but they were saying it's essentially like a simple domain that's wrapped around their hands, and if they use it, it can neutralize any cursed technique. So then by them doing that, it neutralizes his affinity for them to be able to touch him. Um, but even though while they were doing it, it seemed like it was struggling to break it, or I think it just neutralizes, so it just stops it, but it doesn't allow them to make contact, but it breaks the barrier or whatever. And then he was
Yeah.
just sitting there like, okay. And he just teleported and he was like, all right, well, I forgot exactly what he said, but he was basically like, if you guys thought this was gonna work, that was kind of stupid. If that's all you like, if this is your only plan.
Yeah, that's what he said. Um, and then the part when they were in the playground was funny too, even though that was also anime only. It was
Oh,
just
they weren't in the playground here. Oh no, they were just
nah.
sitting on a
They were
stoop.
just kind of like in a park by themselves,
Yeah,
but there weren't any kids. Like they were like playing with
yeah,
kids like
playing
in the
with kids and
playground.
adults and stuff. Yeah, in the playground.
That was
And he
funny.
was just breaking down like, give me 20 minutes so I can put him in this internal prison or whatever. And it was like it's not gonna keep him there forever, but it can hold him for a little bit.
Yeah, and then they were saying stuff about like domain expansion. Like he won't use domain expansion because he would have to pick out, you specifically, and even if he could do that, people would be trapped in between like the outside of the domain and like the barrier, and they would be crushed or something like that. There's a
Yeah.
whole lot of stuff. Um, and like Gojo, the thing is that they're saying is like Gojo is handicapped because he's around a bunch of people and he doesn't want to hurt people. But like, I don't even know if that's the case. He don't even seem phased by them dying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's just like, okay. Like obviously he doesn't want him to die, but he's like, well, if it if it comes to it, it comes to it.
Maybe that's why they showed us that prequel arc. Maybe to show
Oh, when he was
he don't
like, I
care
don't
about
care if all these
civilians that
dudes die.
much.
Yeah, he was like, do you want me to kill all of them? Because I don't really care right now. It's like whatever. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if he just turns up. I mean, at the end of the day, if he doesn't, they're gonna all die anyway, low key. Like if they
Yeah,
trap him. So I mean, it's like,
like that was sick. That really felt like a horror movie though. When the little latches open and they start getting pushed, and it was like, no, stop pushing me, don't push, and then they fell down. That was
yeah,
crazy. And Mappa's doing a lot of embellishing the past few
creative
episodes.
freedom.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it though. Except I guess the whole Yuji thing was
The
basically just
grasshopper
filler.
fight was,
Yeah.
yeah, like
I thought it was funny though. I didn't really think it was good from an animation
I
standpoint.
didn't
It wasn't
either.
that crazy.
Like it wasn't. That blur shit is not like, what is this? It was just blurry as hell. I'm like, I don't know, man. I was looking for it. Like this whole part right here was good, but the Yuji part was like, and especially for that being our first time seeing him
Yeah.
after, I was like, this was kind of underwhelming. But
Well, maybe
then
that's why
we
they
got
did it, because there wasn't much there. Like literally, all they did was like introduce Mei Mei and her younger brother, and then they're like, "We're gonna run. Make sure you catch up." And then it just goes to Gojo. Maybe they wanted
yeah.
to put something
It didn't
there.
even show her using her crows either in the manga,
No,
did it?
they
Yeah.
didn't.
So and then that big ass thing was an axe.
Well, on her back.
That Yeah, in the case, yeah, she had it out. She used it when her and her brother went to go fight the transfigured humans.
Oh, really? I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
they're like, all right, we're done. Let's check on Yuji. And then they went to go see, and Yuji finished the grasshopper too, and she was impressed. She was like, I'm actually impressed. I underestimated how good he was, because I guess she didn't expect him to be finished or to be able to finish him off in time before they were done, but he was able to get it done and destroy the nail. Which
Do you
also
think?
was like, I'm kind of confused too, because they were like, we're only sending in Gojo, but then they send in backup too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Also seen somewhere, I'm not gonna say it, it might be a spoiler, but they were saying somebody's not a cool character. I think it was like they were saying like you won't like Mei Mei or something like that. I don't know. I could be wrong, but they said like some woman character we're not gonna like
Hmm.
for reasons. So I think somebody is gonna it might be a second rat, low key.
I guess we'll see.
I don't know who though. We'll see. I don't know.
As long as it's not my girl Nobra, I don't care.
So
Um. Oh yeah, and that was, you just reminded me of something. I was thinking about, there are like there aren't really any female curses.
oh yeah.
I was thinking about that one day. I was like, I wonder why there aren't really any female curses. Like the only one I could really think of is obviously like
Rita.
Rika,
Or yeah,
who
Rika,
is like
yeah.
a female, but it's like she doesn't really look like a human per se. She's just like a big white monster. And then that little female curse that Ghetto summoned when he was fighting Toji, like the girl
Oh
with
yeah,
like the
with
grudge.
yeah, it was like, do I look pretty to you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and those are like the only two I can really think of in like the whole story. So maybe females are less likely to be curses, or maybe he just
Or
don't be
maybe
drawing
people
them.
don't manifest curses as women. Because like curses are the manifestation of like bad thoughts and stuff. So maybe they just
Okay,
manifest as a dude because dudes are, I
dude
don't know,
suck. Is that
dudes suck, I guess. Yeah.
it's tough out here?
I don't know if you had if you were to create a monster, would it be a girl? Like if you had a bad monster, like imagination, you know what I'm saying? Like you're like, oh, scary monster or something in the dark. Would it be a woman? Probably not.
Probably not. No.
Yeah.
The only ones I could think of
So
was like the Nun
the
or like the
nun,
Grudge
yeah,
or something.
yeah, something like that. But
Do you think Gojo's gonna kill people?
oh yeah, for sure. I don't think he's gonna purposely. I don't think he's gonna
I've
like
seen this
purposely.
man go insane before, so
I don't think he'll like purposely kill people, but I think there's gonna be people getting caught in the in the blast
I think it
of
would be
some
really
stuff.
funny if they just surprised him. He just surprised them with like, I don't care who dies here. I don't know. Like, I have a
But I
hard.
think he did say
It's
he
a
wants to
hard
limit
read on
casualties
him.
though, right? He
You
did say
said
he want to
what?
limit. Didn't he say he want to limit casualties? He said that though, right?
He
Or he just
might
mentioned something
have.
about there being a lot of humans or a lot of regular people here.
Yeah, I remember them saying they wanted to lower casualties, like the sorcerers wanted to lower casualties. But then you were saying they were mostly talking about sorcerers.
Yeah, they were just talking about sorcerers, yeah, not really humans, which is kind of weird because I thought the whole point of being a Jujutsu sorcerer was to protect non-sorcerers from curses.
It is. At
So
least that's what they teach at the
that's what
school.
they teach. Yeah, that's what they
Yeah.
say.
So
So
I don't
we'll
know.
see. We'll see.
They're crooked cops. Who knows? I don't know. I've seen Gojo go crazy before. So maybe he'll go crazy again. I just really want to see, like, because I really understand why the prequel leads up to where Ghetto is. I just really want to see what it did to Gojo. But that's all I got for that.
Yeah,
Let's see.
that's about it for me too.
And then we just got Kenshin in here.
Kenshin was really good.
Kenshin's
Kenshin's
been
always good.
banging.
Kenshin's always good. See, I told you it was a good show. You're like, you were saying you don't know if we should add
If in
this
the
one.
beginning, yeah.
You were like, I don't know. We should probably. I was like, come on, man, let's give it a try. Let's give it a shot.
In the beginning, I was a little iffy about it, but
Skeptical.
it's gotten good. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, somewhere over here. Wind of Rage, Assault. Okay, I think it's in here. So this one is mostly just the fight with this guy and Kenshin.
Yeah, he took his mask off. The Kenpo master.
So then I'm sure. What was his story? Like he used to be an assassin.
He came from a
and...
village that was like terrible. It was like poor, and parents would literally kill their kids to get food. And
Okay, yeah.
a whole bunch of basically he just came from a terrible place. He became a assassin and came across the leader, and the leader was like, "You're pretty good. You're pretty strong. I'll take
He
you
was
in.
with
You
the
can work for me."
Imperialists, right?
Yeah, or it was either him or the other guy was with the Imperialists. The second guy they fought.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's what
But
it was.
he was just like assassin and just kind of trash. Like yeah. And so the leader of the group, the Imawabe, is that what it is? Whatever. The
I don't
group
know.
leader,
Whatever they are.
their group, yeah, their group. He was like, "I'll take you in," and he basically was like, "He saved my life," and then he turns into Wolverine, and I'm like, "What the heck?" I'm like, "What the heck?" But Kenshin broke his mask, and then when he broke his mask, he was like, you have this mask on to to strike fear and to hide your face or whatever." He was like, "Really, I don't wear it to like put fear in my opponents or whatever. I wear it because to like cover my face." And then he was saying that he literally ripped off his cheekbones, his skin, and his lips and his eyes and his ears to literally put faces over his face to impersonate anybody. That's what he did to what's her name when he was that
Yeah.
old man. So it wasn't like a trick. He just put that dude's face on his face.
Like his skin? Is that the
Yeah, he took
interpretation?
his skin. Yeah, he took his skin off and put it on his face,
Ew.
which is pretty gross. And he was like,
I
"I
would
can."
have rather it just been a magic trick than
Yeah,
that.
he was like, "I can basically impersonate or become anyone." And then also Kenshin figured out his trick or his spell, which isn't really a spell. It's just an optical illusion. He put
I
stripes
thought
on
that
his
was
arms.
a shirt, but it was tattoos.
Oh, they're tattoos? I thought it was a shirt too.
I'm pretty sure he said they're tattoos, or Kenshin said that.
Okay. I just know he was like, "You got stripes on your arms to like for an optical illusion, so people can't tell how far your arms are, like when you punch, and they also make them look bigger." I thought he was saying that because like he was saying you're weak, you're not strong, you're not a super strong dude, and you do it so you can't so people can't know how far your arms are away from him since he's like a hand-to-hand combat person. If you
Yeah.
can't tell his reach, then he can get closer and get farther, you know, and connect hits or whatnot. So they're fighting, and then he's like, "You'll never be able to beat me," basically. And then they do the little like, you know, the traditional anime slash where they go past each other, and then nobody gets hurt, and then they're both just sitting there to see who got hit first. And then Kenshin got like a little flesh wound on his arm, and then the other dude was like, "You'll never be able to beat us if you can't even get past me." And then his Wolverine claws just break, and he just falls down and is knocked out. And then they're like, "All right, on to the next guy," and they're like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, it's only a flesh wound, and the wound's already stopped bleeding or whatever. Let's go to Megami or whatever. That's her name, right? Megami."
Yeah, it's Megami. And
And
then
so
the JoJo guy pops up. He
yeah,
reminds me of
and
the JoJo
then
character.
yeah, and then Sanosuke's like, "Go ahead, I got this guy."
I'll take him.
And then they fight, and Sanosuke was losing at first.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
destroyed.
was getting trashed, and then the dude was like, "Dang, you absorbed my headbutt. You're pretty strong. You know, you should join us. We can give you these steroids, and it'll boost up your power." Basically, that's what he said. Like, we can give you this steroid, and it'll make you infinitely stronger. That's what they did to me. I was with the Imperialists, and the captain beat me at the age of 13. And he was like, "You're pretty strong. You should join our group, and we can give you this elixir, and it'll make you stronger." And he was like, "Nah, I don't really think that's for me." And he was like, "The problem with you guys, you're just a group of strong dudes. You guys have no real reason to like be a group other than to fight
Just to
people.
fight people.
Yeah, just to fight people." And he was like, "Kenshin isn't like that. He fights to protect, and he never fights battles that are like for him. He only fights other people's battles for them to like save them." And then he was like, "I was giving you props. You didn't accept." Whatever. And then he just kept headbutting him like 30 times in a row, and his head was just gushing like
I don't
crazy.
understand why he sat there and took that when he was stronger than him the whole
Yeah, the
time.
whole time. And then he broke his hands and then punched him in the face, and then he was just knocked out. But Sanosuke was like, "Dang, how many more guys are there?" And then he just passed out too. And then he had a memory of his old that was the captain, right? The guy who got his head chopped
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
Yeah. And so
I like that fight. I just hate that he sat there and took all those hits when he was stronger than
yeah,
him the
when
whole
he's
time.
stronger, yeah. Or I think he just got that a boost of strength. I don't know, you know the anime thing. Just random boost of strength on the brink of death.
Like he let himself get headbutt way too many
And then they
times.
push up, and Kenshin confronts the leader. He's like, "Let me through. Tell me what Megami is." He's like, "Did what's his name just let you through and step aside?" "No, so why would I?" And then they just stare at each other. And then he looks at his sword, and he's like, he didn't say anything, but I'm assuming that sword is from some era or something like that, because he looked at his sheath and it was like, "Dang, that's a." I don't know. They emphasized his sword though, his katana. And then the other guy was saying if he was around when Kenshin was around, he would be Kenshin, or like he would be the Batso Sai or whatever. Like the
If he
stories would be
was
about him.
in the area,
Yeah, he was like, if he was in an area, the stories wouldn't be about Kenshin, it would be about the leader. That's what he was saying to Sanosuke.
yeah, I guess we gonna see
Yeah,
how tough this dude is. These guys
I
weren't even in
I
this
kind of want
one.
to know what his purpose is. It just seems like he just gathers the band of misfits, like people who don't really have a home, and they just
Just give him steroids, fight, let
give
him
them
fight.
steroids and have them fight and set them up with jobs. Like he's a mercenary, like he's just a hired gun.
I
But
don't know.
also, he didn't give the dude the key when he was like, "You should just kill yourself." But he lied because he didn't give what's his name that key to get inside the room.
Yeah,
So why did he say that?
I assume. I remember that part too. I thought maybe just after an hour that would be the case. I'm not sure, honestly.
I guess he wanted her to think about if she really wanted to kill herself or not. But the dude, and then the guy was banging on the door. He's like, "Hey, we can escape. We can leave together and start a new world, and we can create actual medicine that'll help people. And if we leave now, they won't be able to find us." And then she was like, "I'm done with your lies." He was like, "All right." fuck you. Are
Yeah,
you?
basically.
He was like, you're a terrible person. This is all your fault. You
He was
made
an
the opening. You
incel.
killed all those people. Yeah, like what the heck, bro? And then he was like banging on the door. The door wouldn't open. Then he went back downstairs. So I think he's about to just watch those two fight or whatever.
Yeah, this is the last fight. I thought there would be more obstacles,
Yeah,
but
same. I thought there was gonna be more people because they didn't even show the nail guy, the dude that shoots the. Watch the kid clap him and get revenge because he poisoned him. Watch
that'd
that
be
be that
crazy.
fight. Like he gets to fight the dude that shot him in the hand because that's the only guy that's left.
I feel like this kid is just gonna be in the way.
I kind of do too, but we'll see.
I can see a hostage situation coming
That's
of some
probably is what's
kind.
gonna happen. The guy's gonna show up and hold him hostage while Kenshin's fighting the leader, and because that dude seemed really desperate. He was like, I can't mess up anymore. No more mess ups.
Yeah,
So he would probably do
I'm
something
sure this
drastic
dude
like
isn't
that.
gonna show back up. Like the
Who
red dude with the
the
fire. I
red
don't think
dude?
he's
Yeah,
gonna
he's
pop
knocked
back
out.
up.
Yeah, yeah, he's gone with the flint teeth.
Rurouni Kenshin. Do you think how long do you think the fight will last?
I think it'll be.
I said 2 episodes.
Oh, you think it's gonna be 2 episodes? I think it'll be done next. I think it'll be done next episode.
Really? There's so much build up for this fight.
Yeah, but you gotta think a whole episode of fighting is crazy. Like,
That's true. But with flashbacks, there's
yeah,
gonna be
yeah, with
flashbacks.
yeah, to fill in the gaps, yeah. But I think it'll be all the way up until the commercial break. You know how it shows like the black screen and the red text.
Yeah.
I think that's when the fight will be done. So it'll be like the first 10 to 12 minutes, but it'll be flashbacks included. And then when the fight's about to end, it'll do the commercial break thingy.
I feel like Kenshin's probably gonna win
I think this
in
will
this
be his toughest fight
context.
yet. I think it'll be super close.
Okay. I guess we'll see. What was your episode of the week?
Probably Kenshin.
My episode of the week. What do we have? Kenshin, JJK.
Bleach.
Why do I keep oh yeah, Bleach. I keep forgetting Bleach. My episode of the week is probably JJK. Just specifically the train part or the railway part was good. Moment of the week, probably Zom. When they were what are they doing? When they were first getting in the hot springs, that little part was funny. When what's his name? When Akira and Kensho
Oh yeah, they
first
just
got in the
hopped
hot
straight in,
springs,
and then they were like doing laps.
yeah, and then they were looking, and then the girl was like, the woman's one isn't working, and then they both like posed for a second.
Yeah, they like got super serious, like, oh yeah, don't mind us.
That was funny.
We can, yeah, that was funny. Yeah, I agree. I think that's mine too.
And then the girl, and then Shizuka or whatever was like, dang, like I'm not getting in there, like I'm too shy. And the other girl was like, but back in the day there were mixed baths, and they were like, oh, that was funny.
Yeah,
And then animation of the week.
I would say
Probably
Rurouni.
Kenshin, yeah.
Yeah,
But when Toshiro was fighting Bleach, that was good to me too. But altogether,
Yeah.
I'd say Kenshin. I really thought that what's his name, Sanosuke and the guy with the chain. I really thought they were gonna actually have like a chain match because they reminded me of Black Clover. I don't know if you went that far in Black Clover, but have you ever seen Magma's ultimate move in Black Clover? Do you plan on reading or watching Black Clover?
No.
Okay. Well, you know who Magma is, the guy with the baseball bat and the glasses.
Yeah, yeah.
So his ultimate move in Black Clover, because he was like super weak and he wanted to catch up to people, but like obviously he wasn't that like talented. He came up with this ultimate move where like it's like a chain that connects him and like his opponent, and like it splits their magic energy in half equally. So they both have the same magic energy, and like you can only use, like you're just stuck together until one person like dies, and and all you can do is like punch. or like
Okay.
kick. Like you can only use physical attacks, and it's just like basically like a chain death match, like punching each other, like
UFC.
who's gonna go down first. Yeah, basically, like that's how he like equalizes fights when he's fighting people
Okay.
that are like way stronger than him. So that's I thought they were just gonna have like a chain death match, but the way it went was cool too. And that's all I got for this week. Predictions:
Yeah.
I think Gojo's gonna kill civilians.
My
That's it.
prediction is I think Gojo will try his hardest not to have anybody on the outside die, but you know, it's gonna happen. And then he's gonna get trapped in that little prison thing.
You think Yuji's gonna fight Mahito?
Yeah, he's the only person that can fight him
Why you say
aside
that?
from Gojo. Because if he comes in contact with anybody else, he can transfigure their soul.
Oh, you're saying no one else is skilled enough to fight him?
No, I'm saying like nobody can touch him. Like you have to fight him with attacks that can't come in contact with his body. You have to use a weapon. Because if he touches you, he can get to your soul.
Yeah. There's other people that could do that.
Like who?
Nanami, Megumi, Nobara.
Yeah, but
Uh,
Nanami's good because you know those two fought him together and he was like trashing him. But I think he's also Mahito's leveled up too from since that
that's
that was when
true.
he was like first born. Now he has like a full grasp on domain expand and even then he had Nanami and Yuji inside his domain. And the only
Yeah, they
reason they
just
got
got
out is
saved.
because what's his name? That's why I'm saying it has to be Yuji because Sukuna's not going to let him touch his soul, like no matter what. Like
True.
he can't use that because as soon as he was like, if you touch my soul, it's like I'm killing. Like it's it's over. Like don't like you can do whatever you want, but if you try to touch my soul, I will kill you. So that's why I think Yuji is the number one because that negates his whole transfiguration thing because Sukuna won't let it happen.
Yeah. So I guess he can only use like Mahito can only use like physical attacks against Yuji.
Yeah.
And Yuji's pretty tough, but I guess we'll see. I would like to see that rematch.
And he wants to get that he's trying to up the score, man, because he killed his mans.
He did.
He killed his mans, bro.
RP Junpei.
He was about to join the school and everything.
He did
And
have
he
a
just
whole like
he was
not
in the intro.
flashback, but like
He was
flash
in the
forward.
intro. Bro, they had him in the intro. I don't know if you watched the intro of that season, but he was there, like in the uniform and everything with
Yeah.
Yugi, yeah, with all of them. And then he just got transfigured into a giant like hippo thing and died.
Junpei got turned to a hippo. That's fine. RP Junpei. Okay. Well, that's all we got for this week. Thank you for tuning in to episode 43. Like, leave a rating, follow on social media, Weekend Weaves on everything. Peace out.
Peace. No work today?
Nah, not on Monday.